And now, Pujya Atman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda commences tonight's satsang with a Sanskrit peace chant.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We begin with mystic song by Sri Swami Lalitananda, played and sung by Sri Swami Umananda and Rajneesh.
Our song tonight is called The Spirit of Love.
Yeah.
Must pass away. That sweeps like drifting snow over one and all. But the spirit of love lives on and on. The spirit of love is like the sun shining on all below. The spirit of love sleeps in every heart. The value of life lies flowing with the song of humility. When feeling is pure and dullness gone, you know and realize life cannot be without the spirit of love. The spirit of love is like the sun shining on all below. The spirit of love sleeps in every heart. Let the river flow to the sea and enter deep, deep within, feeling like the wave of the endless sea. The spirit of love is like the sun shining on all below. The spirit of love sleeps in every heart. We are recording from the ashram of our revered Guru, Pujya Atman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda in Miami, Florida. Today is June the 27th, 2021, Sunday evening, and tonight Swamiji will be lecturing on the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is series 2018, class number 126. And now Pujya Atman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda.
Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe. destroyer of the forces of darkness and bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, that's Gita chapter 14. And presently, we are entering into a very great topic, Trigunatita, who has transcended the three gunas. How does he look like? What are his characteristics? There are in three places in the Gita, this entire wisdom is poured into Sthita Pragya Lakshanas, characteristics of one who is enlightened. In chapter 2, it is called Sthita Pragya Lakshana. In chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga, who is dear to God. And in chapter 14, Trigunatita. What are the characteristics of one who has transcended the three gunas? Three gunas are sattva, rajas, tamas. These gunas operate in and through your mind, and your essential nature is beyond mind. So far, the highlighted points that have been given to you, let me go over them, just touching those points. One should continue to enhance sattva. How do you continue to do that? By simple formula, be good, do good. Serve, love. Paropakaraya dharmaya, papaya parapidanam. By doing good to others, you are enhancing dharma. And that which enhances dharma enhances your sattva. And hurting others is the basis of adharma, of going against the path of virtue. So, continue to enhance sattva in your chitta and in all aspects of your personality, in your mind, in your body. The practice of Hatha Yoga, Pranayama, Kundalini Yoga, all these are helpful. So evolve your own sadhana, practice in the sadhana in daily life to see that you are keeping your body healthy. Healthy body means you are enhancing sattva, creating a channel to enhance sattva in your mind. Always be careful to watch over your gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Try to recognize them. Sattva means is the time for inspiration. Mind is relaxed. Rajas, mind becomes distracted. Is not focusing on one point, but going astray. Tamas, mind is becoming deluded. These three gunas, if you are not careful, there is a tendency for Rajas and Tamas to torture your sattva. Think of Ravana and Kumbhakarna. They kept Vibhishana under great pressure and subjected him to a kind of slavery. So the gunas want your sattva within to be minimum, to be ever under control. And that, if you are not careful, means if you are not doing your sadhana and living a life of luxury, you will not succeed in being Triguna-atita. So be always cautious, savadhan. How much sattva can be enhanced? How much good can you be? Your goodness should be profound. The source of your goodness is at your heart level. When your heart becomes purified, you are good. In other words, when sattva enhances, you do not make effort to control your anger or hate, because anger and hate, they don't come. It's automatically, your mind does not permit them. So much so, your senses don't need to be controlled. A pure mind flows through the senses freely. Your eyes see what is good. Your ears hear what is good, and so forth. It becomes a spontaneous. So this type of practice has to go on in your daily life. Practice sattva to such an extent that you do not have to restrain your senses with great effort. Senses are withdrawn automatically, just like the turtles withdraw their limbs. Next point, this project of enhancing sattva should not stop even for a single day. It should continue day by day. Just like you don't stop your eating food even for a single day. Don't stop your drinking milk, water when you are thirsty. In the same way, sattva must be enhanced day by day without developing the idea, oh, I have enough sattva. And there is always karma. You are being led by karmic process. And you have always certain project before you. But create your purushartha, self-effort, to turn whatever you are doing in a sattvic way. And if you have to plan a project, let the project be a sattvic project, not rajasic and tamasic. And while doing sattvic karmas, your goal is not action and the fruit of action. Your goal is what happens to your mental process, how much purity you gain in your thought, word, and deed. The progress is, the movement is progressive. And be ever intent to see that mind does not entertain degraded thoughts. The purpose behind all this is to have the revelation that you are Atma, the Self. You are essentially Brahman, beyond the three gunas. So if three gunas are handled well, automatically go beyond the three gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. These three gunas continue to operate in bhava pratyaya. Remember pratyaya, bhava and bhava pratyaya. These are favorite topics. Bhava pratyaya means while vrittis are being projected on the screen of your consciousness, changes occur. See, in a cinema show, there are two types of changes. In the contents of the story, changes take place, and you look forward to a sattvic story. That change is change in bhava pratyaya. But the ultimate goal is the projection movement completely moves away, and to recognize that no matter what type of projection you are involved in, reality behind the projection is Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman, the Absolute. And that aspect is called Pratyaya Bhav. You are dropping away the whole process of projection. So these are the highlights that have been touched by the Gita right in this chapter, 14th chapter. And now, verse number 21. Arjuna uvacha kairlingais trin gunate tan atito bhavati prabho kimachara katam chaitan trin gunanati vartate. Arjuna asked, O Lord, what are the characteristics of one who has transcended the three gunas? How does he conduct himself? How does he rise above the three gunas? And in this question, you are being presented with the goal of life. If we have attained the goal of life, what are the characteristics? And as I explained, the Gita brings this highlight in three areas. In chapter 2, Sthita Prajna Lakshanas. In chapter 2, Lakshanas, characteristics of who is a devotee of God. And chapter 14, the characteristics of one who has gone beyond the three gunas. Lord Krishna replies, also at this stage you must know that changes occur in your deeper level, in your mind, in your understanding. And in your external world, there is a special effect of your internal feeling. Somehow your activities are become inspiring. Your activities are always sarve bhavantu sukhina, promoting happiness and well-being for others. And therefore, externally, you will appear to have different types of mind. You see a person suffering and you sympathize with that suffering. You may as well shed a tear or two to harmonize with the person. The near and dear one is grieving. You also show a little grief, but that's very brief. Deeper level, you are completely detached. How you act on the basis of sympathy, that changes in practical world. With a relative, calm relative, you are calm, relaxed. With an agitated one, you show a little bit of agitation. And with a child that stammers, you show a little stammering. So external feature can be difficult to recognize. So, Arjuna has asked that question, and Bhagavan Lord Krishna replies, Prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pandava nadveshti sampravrittani na nivrittani kankshati. Lord Krishna said, he, O Arjuna, who does not hate when light, activity and delusion are present, nor does he long for them when they are absent. Three Sanskrit terms, prakash, pravritti, moha. When sattva increases, is like bringing light in your dark house where you were under the atank, terror of dark forces. Now suddenly light comes in. It's very relaxing. A sense of prosperity, peace, joyousness. So when there is an opening to that type of experience, be always detached, because it will not be constant. It will come and go. When sattva moves away, rajas begins to invade your mind. Sattva, rajas, tamas, they are mutually fighting with each other. When rajas invades your mind, now your mind is constantly planning, what should I do, what should I do? Planning with distraction. You don't have any one project that will satisfy you, but you have countless projects. And we're counting the number of projects for your fulfillment. With sattva, whatever you do begins to satisfy you, brings you delight. No matter how ordinary thing you are doing, it becomes aradhana of God, worship of God. Worship of God, what could be more engrossing than touching the feet of God, offering flowers to God, looking into His eyes, seeing His smile, having the touch of His hand on your head. So, with sattva, all that becomes possible. With rajas, no. You are looking for where to go, how to go, and so many distracted thoughts in your mind enter. That's called pravritti. The first term is called prakash, luminosity. Next one is lot of distracted activity, pravritti. And the third, tamas, enters. You don't even know what to do, because you don't even have your control over your identity. You have just gone into a drunken house, and you are drunk. Now you don't even know where you are. You sit down by a drainage and think you have come to your house. That's called moha, delusional experience. But all these three stages of mind, they will come in different degrees. As sattva is enhanced, sattva will be more and more. Rajas and tamas will come lesser and lesser. However, all the three will come. But if you are triguna atita, you will not be shaken from the deeper level. A tree can be shaken at the branch, at the external parts. But the shaking of the tree should enhance, strengthen the root of the tree. So that type of shaking is allowed by sages. The three gunas continue to roll on, led by your karma, led by the need of your spiritual evolution. But internally, you are progressing, irrespective of how the gunas operate. So a kind of detached state of watching over the gunas and intentionally promoting more and more sattva. To such an extent that sattva becomes so abundant that you have no need for effortlessly. Then that state is called sattva patti. If you have attained that, you are trigunatita. You can't go back into the clutches of the three gunas. You are getting out and out until you are completely in a state of videha mukti, disembodied salvation. Udasina vasino gunairyo na vichalyate guna vartanta ityeva yovatishtati nengate. 23rd verse. Seated like one indifferent, he is not disturbed by the gunas. He knows that the gunas alone operate, and thus, being established in this self, he is unmoved. Udasinavat asino. Udasinavat means like one who is indifferent, completely detached. Thus asino means seated. He is seated in a state that is detached from the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. Internally, he has nothing to gain or to lose. Led by the three gunas, sattva comes, lots of happiness, prosperity shines before the eyes. A sage is not deluded. He is not going to be there forever. It will pass away. Rajas comes, things go a little astray, struggle, challenges come in your life. Even that will pass away and have their purpose. Tamas comes and you are rendered helpless. Sickness, disease, inertia, even the need for sleep. But that also is handled by a sage in a way that even in tamasic experience, you are enhancing sattva. Say, for example, you are going to sleep. Sleep is produced by tamas. But before going to sleep, if you have offered prayers, you enter into sleep, your mind is dominated by shubh samskaras. You are drawing good dreams, inspiring dreams. So you have handled your tamas in a profound way. The more detached you are of the gunas, the more you utilize the gunas for promoting your path of liberation. So all the gunas become an aid, a dynamic aid in your spiritual progress. Otherwise, the gunas become your enemy. All the gunas. Sattva becomes your worst enemy. That point we have discussed before. Sam dukkha sukha swastha samloshtasma kanchana tulya priya priyo dhira tulya nindatma sanstuti. Ever established in the self, he is alike in pleasure and pain. Outwardly there will be an appearance of being shaken and so forth. Internally, abiding in Aham Brahmasmi. And therefore, from his inner point of view, he is ever the same. Pleasant condition has come, great prosperity has begun to shower on him, and he is calm internally. Painful experience has come, great challenges, and he internally calm. Patatyangar varshecha vati va malayanile bhutale vrajati vyomni shamam aste gya atmani. This is a quotation from Yoga Vasishtha. Even if burning embers were to fall, or gentle cool breeze laden with fragrance of sandalwood were to blow, or the very earth were to explode and scatter in the sky, a sage remains in his deeper level. He has his identity, Aham Brahmasmi. That identity experience is unshaken. He regards a clod of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold, all equal in value, because nothing can you take with you. All the world around you that give you so much happiness, you have gained a lottery that gives you golden ornament, a piece of gold, and you are so happy about it. And you want more and more. You bring more golden ornaments, the golden articles, and you go on storing them in your storehouse. And you see such a big difference between a stone and all that. But ultimately, what are you getting out of it? All the gold around you is a burden on your head. How to protect, how to advertise how much you have, and so forth. So it is only creating more stress. Stones, on the other hand, play their great part. Stones placed in the right way allows your road to be safe. Stones go to form so many structures, etc. So, from his deeper point of view, both have equal value. Stone, piece of gold, all have equal value. He is firm in wisdom and keeps his mind balanced in conditions that are agreeable and disagreeable, treating praise and censure alike. If people praise you, it is encouraging. It's good to be praised. You try to promote it. But you don't become addicted to it, don't become dependent upon it. You have to qualify yourself by your own self-effort. And you should not be deluded by praise. If people are saying that you have awakened Kundalini, your head is already shining, your Sahasrara chakra is oozing through your forehead. Now don't stop your sadhana, thinking you have attained it. What can all this praise do? Be inspired by it, but don't become deluded by it. And you have attained great height, and people criticize you because they have asked you to pray, and your prayer didn't work for them. So what type of sage are you? So, if you are insulted and you are censured, you remain internally unperturbed. He keeps his mind balanced in conditions that are agreeable and disagreeable, treating praise and censure alike. Manapamanayoh tulya rastulyo mitrari pakshayo sarvaramba parityagi gunatita savuchyate. He is the same in honor and dishonor, man apaman. When we are praised or censured, it's being repeated because of the importance. He is alike to friend and foe. An enemy has an inimical attitude, but a sage looks at him as a patient and has goodwill. This point we have clarified many times. Nindak niyare rakhiye, angan kuti chhawaye. If anyone is criticizing you, this highly allegorical statement, give a house, a part of your house, freely for him to live, so that any even slightest error you do, he magnifies it. And that is to your favor. You go on correcting yourself because someone is magnifying your error. If you are a writer, keep a proofreader nearby. Having abandoned all karmic involvements means you don't live for fruit of karma. You live for spiritual progress. Fruit of karma means you are facing external circumstances that seem so prosperous. When you don't expect fruit of karma and you do it in the spirit of karma yoga, now what's happening? Your integration in your personality is enhanced. Your thought, word, deed, they become harmonized, integrated. Your action, will, emotion and reason, they become integrated gradually. Then what happens? You begin to see yourself as a channel of God. Upadrashta anumantacha, bharta bhokta maheshwara. Begin to see that you are being watched by God. Upadrashta, your God is overseeing you. Anubanta, God is inspiring you to do the right thing. You are always in attuning with God's will. God is your master. And it's God who is enjoying everything, not you. Who is your enjoyer? Who is the enjoyer? Who is the taster? Who is the experiencer? God, not your ego. So that type of experience begin to develop, leading you to be gunatita, triguna-atita, leading you to go beyond the three gunas. Mam chayobhyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunana sametityaitaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. He who worships me with unswerving devotion crosses over the three gunas and becomes qualified for becoming one with Brahman or the Absolute. So ultimate goal of this being Trigunatita is a revelation. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Led by Bhakti Yoga. You develop Ananya Bhakti. In brief, your yoga attains its height. You become the best karma yogi. You become the best Raj yogi, best bhakti yogi, best jnana yogi. All the yogas are one yoga, integral. And with this I'm going to conclude for today. Om. Om. Ram, 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 Ram. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Om Shri Krishnaya Namah. Om Shri Krishnaya Namah. Om Shri Krishnaya Namah. Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya Ras, grace of God over all of you. and with the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukuma Bandhana Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.
And we can conclude until Tuesday when we continue the study of Yoga Vashishta.
Om Shri Satgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you, Swamiji.